Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Hello Internet, my name is Ragentreg, and today I will be going through a tutorial on the basic route and some variations of it for the Pokemon TCG speedrun for Game Boy Color. So, starting off, the important things to remember is, let's not forget, you will have set up by this point, and if you forget the setup is you will start here. You will have chosen the Charmander and Friends deck, you will have gone to config, you will have changed the settings to match the following, so message speed 5 and dual animation none. You'll have done that, and you will have diary saved on that spot. Okay? Now, with that, the first thing you will do when you're here is you're going to turn here, and you'll make a deck edit. Now this deck edit is very specific, so feel free to go back over this a few times, but the deck edit is very specific. So you go to this man, you go deck, modify, let me just do this with a new game file, because that's probably going to be more helpful. Right, okay, so you're going to go to this man, and then you're going to deck edit. The first deck edit you do is you'll press left, go down, add 2 grass energy, press back, add 4 grass energy, sorry. Press back, go down here, take out all of these, back, save it there, back, talk to this guy, then deck edit again, go down here, take out Charizard, Growlithe, Arcanine, Ponyta, take out all the electrics, go to here, take out your grass energy, add all the fire energy, and then add up to 13 fighting energy. Then save, come out, and then you're going to move on. That's your first deck edit. Now, the first thing you do after that is come out the Mason Laboratory, and now you're going to go to the Fighting Club. Now, the reason we do this is well, this is a scripted cutscene-ish thing, which you just mash through. The reason we go here first is to talk to the club leader. You just do that quickly, and that spawns all of his disciples across the map. So before that, and his disciples spawn at the Rock Club, the Fire Club, and the Grass Club. His 3 disciples spawn only after you talk to him, so that's why we go to the fighting gym first. So after that, if you are going... Yeah. It's probably better, yeah. That is an option. Yeah, if you're going fast, if you going for PB, AJ is right. If you're going for PB, I'll just demonstrate that quickly. If you're going for PB, then do what I did, but if you don't go for PB, if you're just running and in races, take out 3 lightning energy and add the last 3 fighting energy, just for consistency. That's if you're doing just a standard run, and if you're going for PB, don't do that, because it's slightly slower. If only slightly. Anyway, back to where the route goes. So now, at this point, you have a route split. If you are just learning the game from the beginning, I recommend you go to the Grass Club first, and then I'll explain the run from there. If you're going for personal best, you will also go to Grass Club. But if you are doing a race, it is better to go to the Lightning Club. The reason to go to the Lightning Club first in a race is you'll be more consistent coming out of the Lightning Club and into the Grass Club, which is going to be the more difficult club of the 2. If you're doing and the route for that is, if you're doing a race, you go here and you fight this guy first. This guy is the easiest deck in the entire game to beat, bar maybe a man, whatever her name is, Sarah or something in the Water Club. This is one of the easiest fights in the game. You start with him, and then after that you go to him, and then after that we're going to walk down to her, make a deck edit, add in the cards that are relevant, and then you're going to go fight her, fight him, and then move on. So just to recap, if you're in a race, fight this guy first, fight this guy next, go down, deck edit here to make your deck better, fight Isaac, then go at the club. If you're doing the normal route, however, you will be at the Fighting Club and you go to the Grass Club. Now in the Grass Club, if you're going for personal best, and purely for personal best, start Michael, and if you get a good Michael fight, continue the run. If you do not get a good Michael fight, do not continue the run and reset. Side note, this is the one case where it's not, one of the few cases where it's advisable to not reset, not diary save. Because if you diary save, you just reset the run, you've only lost 30 seconds, you've lost a minute of your life, and you're also getting better at the opening deck edits. So right, just to recap, fight Michael if you're going for PB, and do not diary save in front of him if you're going for PB. If you're just going for a standard run, though, just continue on into this room. And you'll fight Heather first. Pretty easy fight on the whole. Don't worry, she doesn't pose any problems. Then you'll fight her. Whatever her name is. Kristen? Yeah, Kristen. Fight these two. Then go fight this irritating girl. This is going to be one of the hardest fights of the early game. Brittany is one of the harder fights of the early game. So fight her after that. Do it in that order, because that's the easiest order. And then you're going to move on. And once you've done that, you're going to go out here. Once you've beaten the 3 trainers, you're going to go out here, and then you're going to go into question mark's house. You're going to go there, and then there will be the club leader standing right here. You will see it in literally every run that you go. Once you've beaten the grass club, you go here. So once you've done that, you go back, and then you go on to the lightning club. If you've done that, you go to the lightning club after talking to Nikki in all cases. So yeah, that's the thing. Side note, if you start at the lightning club, then you go on to the grass club, beat the 3 trainers, then go get Nikki, and then you come back to the grass club. And the routes converge at this point. So at this point, fight Michael, because it's the most miserable fight there. Fight Michael if you haven't done so already, and then move on to Nikki. Nikki will be standing at the back here. Fight Nikki, and then move back. Do not forget to save here, because after here, there will be a scripted Ronald fight, and the Ronald fight you want to lose. You want to lose the Ronald fight. So if you save here, then you walk out, Ronald will pop up here. You want to lose to him as fast as possible. So if he leads a Cubone, instantly reset, because that's the slowest Pokemon by miles, and all he'll do is snivel and just do nothing. Reset if it's a Cubone. As for the rest, most things kill. So unless he has an Electabuzz into a Diglett, don't reset and just let him kill you as quickly as possible. Right. And on from there. So at this point, I'm assuming you've beaten both the Grass Club and the Lightning Club in either form. So if you're on a race, you've gone Lightning Club, Grass Club, Ishihara's house, Grass Club to finish off Nikki and Michael, and now you're moving on with the run. If you're doing the standard run, you do this Grass Club, go to Ishihara's house, go to Lightning Club, Grass Club again to finish off Nikki and Michael, and now you're here. And in a PB route, you're going for Michael, rest of Grass Club, go up to Ishihara's house, down to Lightning Club, beat Lightning Club, and then beat Nikki, and then you'll be here. So from here, we go down to the Water Club. And do not forget to do this. And this is where another route split opens. First, you're going to fight her. This is an annoying fight, and I'll explain it. I'll go into more detail in a different video where I will go over each fight in much more detail. So we'll get to that later. But beat her with the deck you're currently using. Then you have a choice. If you're learning the game, then what you will do... No, I think AJ's route's better. I think your route's just better. Either way. So what you're going to do here, there's no... this is a new route that's been recently been used by AJ, who is a pretty decent speedrunner. And I'm calling this AJ route because while it is early Amy in all cases, it's a better route to do for the most part. It's just slightly more consistent on some parts, although this makes this fight and the next three or four fights hard. So what you're going to do after that is you're going to go here and you're going to deck edit again. Now here your deck edit will depend on your Raichu count, your Electabuzz count, and to some extent your Kadabra count. I will discuss this in the video explaining this club, but that's what you'll do. You'll deck edit here, swap your deck, you're going to fight her, then you're going to fight him, and then you're going to fight Amy behind. Please note that Joshua will literally introduce you to Amy. This guy here will literally introduce you to Amy. So what you want to do is not fight her straight away and then walk up one tile, turn right, make a diary save there, and then fight Amy. If you're feeling confident enough on a PB route, do not save there. Just go straight into Amy to save yourself 5 seconds. But it's a risk. It's a great risk. But it's YOLO Amy is a strat. Anyway, just so you're aware of it. So make sure you do it in that order as well. You've got to fight her first with your first deck. Deck swap here to fight her, then fight Joshua, and then fight Amy. Right, and after you're done with this gym, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Science Club. So go up here. You're going to go up to here to the Science Club. Now, there are only 2 fights here, luckily. So you just go here, you beat the Gatekeeper with your current deck, no matter what it is. You beat your beat him with your deck here. Then you're going to deck swap in front of Rick, and you're going to take out all of your electric Pokemon and max out on your Kadabras and Abras, and then fight him that way. You're going to deck it in front there. Okay, so once you've done that, that's pretty simple. So yeah, just fight him with your deck going into here, and then swap to only Abracadabra for Rick. Now, after that, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Psychic Club. And then you're going to fight Murray. This fight's a... Oh, Murray only turns up after you've done 4 badges, so that's why he's not here. But you're going to do a deck edit here again, and you're going to swap to Digletts, Dugtrios, and at least 2 Rattata. And the reason for that is, I will explain that in a later point, but just bear in mind, never forget the 2 Rattata here. Alright? So once you've beaten Murray, save here. Don't forget to save here, because this one's a more important Ronald fight to save before. Because this Ronald fight is terrible if he leads something that is immune to Diglett, or rather, Diglett is immune to, or he starts with a Pokemon that doesn't do anything like Kangaskhan. So, save there. This is a more important save. So save here, fight Ronald. Now, second thing to note, once you've beaten Ronald, you'll be about here, turn left, and go down and talk to this guy. This guy will give you a Mewtwo, and if you have... and Mewtwo's used for a later fight, so don't forget to talk to this guy. Now, at this point, if you have pulled a Scyther in any pack, just move on, do not do what we're about to do. If you haven't got a Scyther, though, go up here and do the Mail Manip on this PC. This is the fastest PC to do the Mail Manip on. And do it on this PC now. Do it there. And once you're done with it, also do a deck edit. Do a deck edit to take the 2 Rattatas out and just put a bit more energy back in. So once you've done that, bear in mind, if you do get the Scyther, then it is worth picking up the other packs here, so packs 1, 3, 4, and 6. Get those 4 packs if you're doing a normal route. If you're doing a PB route, just take the 3 and the 6. Don't bother with 4. And if you're doing Lightning Club first, I would still take all 4 packs. Just bear in mind that if you're doing Lightning Club race route first, then you will your Colosseum pack will be on pack 4, not on pack 3. Alright, so you've got your Scyther, and you're going to move on. So go down here, go up to Fire Club, and using the deck edit you made earlier, you're going to fight Ken. Make sure you have your 2 Rattatas taken out here, because if you don't, it's really embarrassing and it causes you a reset and a bit more time. So yeah, fight him, and once you're done fighting him, go down, out here, and then fight Jessica here. Sorry, correction. You're going to make a deck edit at this spot, and you're going to put only Scyther in your deck, and then the rest of the deck is just Trainers and Grass Energy and Double Colorless Energy. So, this is where you make your Scyther deck edit. Once you've done that, you move on. You go down to the Rock Club, and then you turn right first, beat Chris with your Scyther deck, and then you're going to also beat Jean with your Scyther deck. These fights are all pretty much free. Sometimes you can get screwed by Rattatas in the 2 Fighting Guys fights, but generally you're not too screwed and it's pretty easy. I will go into more detail, of course, but at a later date. So once you've beaten those guys, these are same whichever route you go to. You're only missing one more fight, and that's the Fighting Club here, and that's Mitch. So here, do a deck edit to swap to only Mewtwo, Psychic Energy and other stuff, you know. Only Mewtwo. This is where you make your only Mewtwo deck swap. And once you're done with that, go out here, go to the Dome, and then you're going to go here to this PC. No, you're going to... Okay, so if you've picked your 4 packs already, and you've got decent trainers and decent Doug Trio count, then just carry on here, go through these doors, and just go and just continue. If you have not opened any packs yet, then go to the PC, and if you have if you are severely lacking in either Doug Trios, Dugongs, or if failing Dugongs, Gyarados, you're going to go to here, and you're going to get Pack 12 as well as Pack 1, 2... Well, sorry, Pack 12, Pack 1, Pack 3, Pack 4, and Pack 6. Those 5 packs. Pack 1, 3, 4, 6, 12. And bear in mind, this is the point where you would do the Pack 12 manipulation for a good card. Alright. And after that, you're in the Dome, and sadly I can't demonstrate this right now, but in the Dome, you're going to walk 2 spaces forward. In fact, I'll do that now, actually. Let me bring up a save where I can go in the Dome. Load state from... Okay, so we're just going to go quickly to the Dome, just to demonstrate this. Oh, whoops. Or we're not going to go to the Dome. Right, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go through here, and then you're going to walk 2 steps. You're going to wait at this spot, and at this spot you're going to do the deck edit and diary save. And the deck edit here is for either Dugong, preferably Dugong, or Gyarados, depending on how many you have of each. If you have more Gyarados than Dugong, I would go with Gyarados, even though it's riskier. Because having 1 Dugong... Okay, so, correction. If you have 1 Dugong and 2 Gyarados, go with Gyarados. But if you have 2 or more Dugong, go with Dugong. Because 1 Dugong is just unplayable. It's pretty much unplayable. And whenever I say Dugong from now on, I mean Gyarados, okay? So just... For these fights, you will be using basically 2 decks. You'll be either using a Doug Trio deck, or a Dugong deck, or a Gyarados deck if you don't have good Dugongs. A good Dugong count. I would still go as Dugong if you had 2 Dugongs, although if you have 4 Gyaradoses and some amount of Magikarp, maybe at that point, it's a judgment call. But just let it be known that Seal Dugong is a lot preferable to Gyarados Magikarp. Gyarados Magikarp is just used for more consistency if you need it. Anyway, you're going to do the Gyarados... the Dugong deck swap here. And then you're going to go through. And then don't forget to actually enter the Doomsdays, because that's embarrassing. And now I'm just going to demonstrate who the fights are. So, take my place at the table. So the first fight is Courtney. And it will instantly go into fight. You don't get to deck edit beforehand. Okay, I'm just going to reset there. So, so you'll fight Courtney first, which is the fire deck. Then after her, do not forget to say yes to the question that's asked of you, and then make the deck edit after Courtney to go to the Diglett Doug Trio deck for Steve. Once you've done that, once you've done the Diglett Doug Trio deck for Steve, then from then on, the Jack fight is up to preference. Jack fight should be done with the, which is after Steve, should be done with the same deck as Steve. Then after that, if you have a lot more Doug Trio than you do Dugong, stick with Doug Trio for Rod. And then for Ronald, you need to swap back to Gyarados or Dugong, unless you're on PB pay, unless you're on like World Record or PB pace, at which point just take the risk with the Doug Trio and just go, because it will save you a little bit of deck editing time and you might just win. Like, you might just win big. It's possible to win big. It's a lot easier to win big with Diglett Doug Trio than it is with Gyarados or Dugong. But at the same time, taking Doug Trio into that final fight is risky at best. I mean, it's a lot slower if the fight goes on longer. But I'll explain that I'll explain all that a bit more clearly another time. Anyway, to recap the route. So, first off, make the deck edit here. Don't forget to deck edit here first, and then you're going to move on with your life. You're going to go to the Fighting Club first, talk to Mitch, come out the Fighting Club. Then, if you're in a race setting, go to the Lightning Club. And then after the Lightning Club, you'll go to the Grass Club. And after the Grass Club, you go to Ishihara's house. Then you go back to talk to Nikki. Then you go back to the Grass Club to finish Nikki off and Michael. If you're doing any other route, though, as in just learning the game, or you're either learning the game or you're going for PB, or go to Grass Club. And if you're going for PB, fight Michael first. And if you don't get a good Michael fight, reset. It doesn't take longer than about 2 minutes if you're grinding for PB. So that's what I'd do first, because Michael's the trickiest fight. If you're just going for a normal route, though, just do the Grass Club without Michael, and then go to Ishihara's house, and then Lightning Club, beat Lightning Club, go back to Grass Club, finish off the Grass Club. That should be the same for Michael anyway. Then once you've done that, you go to the Water Club, fight the first fight on the right with the same deck, then make a deck swap to to Electric and or Psychic Pokemon for the rest of the gym. Once you're done with that gym, go up to Science Club, fight the Gatekeeper with the same deck you've been using, then swap to Abracadabra only for the Rig fight. Once you're done with that, go down to Murray, fight Murray with the with a Diglett Dugtrio deck with Rattatas added in. Do not forget the Rattatas. Do not forget to save after fighting Murray in order to not get screwed on Ronald, because sometimes you can. And do not forget to get the Mewtwo here either. This is also the ideal place for Scyther manipulation if you have yet to get a Scyther. Then you're going to move on up to Fire Club. You're going to fight Ken with the same deck minus the Rattatas. And the Rattata deck swap is so quick that it doesn't matter. Once you've done that, you're going to go into the side room and fight Jessica with the Scyther only deck. And once you've done that, you're going to move to here. You're going to fight Chris and Jean with the Scyther decks. And once you've done that, you're going to go down to here. You're going to fight Mitch with Mewtwo only. And then you're going to go to the Pokemon Dome. This is the last chance to get mail if you need mail. And then you're going to fight Courtney with a Dugong or Gyarados deck. Followed by Steve with a Dugtrio deck. Followed by Jack with probably a Dugtrio deck, unless your Dugong count is much, much better than your Dugtrio count. Then you're going to fight Rod with the same deck as you used beforehand. And then you're going to fight Ronald with the Dugong or Gyarados deck. Unless you're on PB base, and unless you're on like crazy pace, and just it might be worth risking the Dugtrio. But that is a judgment call. The fight is a lot easier with Gyarados and Dugong, but cheese is available to Diglett that is just not available to Seal. So bear that in mind. Anyway, that's the basic route. This is the updated route, the AJ route, which I advocate strongly now because it's just a good route. It just feels a lot better than the old route because you have more time to get Scyther. You also have the only real risky fights are risky fights that were risky anyway. And notably on Rick, you have slightly more control over losing one Pokemon, and also the deck is really consistent with 4 Abras and Kadabras, so this is why I really advocate the new route. And as for the rest, it's just a solid route. I mean, maybe there'll be a more optimal route in the future, but this is the route I trust for now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. There we go.